My name is Debbie Kimbrell.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. The feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis,
Hello and welcome
founder
back
and
into
CEO
Centex
of Lighthouse Streaming.
Primetime. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, getting ready to take you through the primetime topics in sports, not just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today on this Wednesday afternoon / Wednesday evening. Want to thank everybody for watching in with us today. We got a lot to talk about as the NBA playoffs are right around the corner. Just had the play-in game yesterday. The transfer portal is wide open right now in college football and in college basketball, so we got to talk a little bit about that. And we'll talk about some breaking news that we do have here in the Central Texas area. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today, whether that is on YouTube, Centex Sports TV / Centex Sports Network over on YouTube, or on Facebook, Centex Sports Network as well. Also, you can watch on X or Twitter, whichever one you decide to call it, at Centex Sports TV on there as well. As we go live here 5 to 7 p.m. weekdays right here on Centex Sports Network. Well, folks, joining me in studio today, we've got a very special guest here, the newly appointed head coach of Waco High basketball, Coach Pat Listash. Coach, what is going on?
Not much, man. Hey, thank y'all for having me.
Oh, no problem, man. Coach, well, we talked a little bit off air right before we jumped on here. How was it just getting that news, first off, just receiving that news that you'll be able to be the next head coach of Waco High basketball, and then trying to keep it a little bit on the low before all the news got out to everybody else?
Right, so I found out about a week or two ago,
Mm-hmm.
and, it's just a blessing. I was super happy, very exciting, super blessed, you know what I mean? Like, God has continued to do amazing things for me. But yeah, to keep it quiet, I knew I could do it, but I was worried about, my wife, my family, especially my mom.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I already know. Everybody wants to get that call and let somebody know that,
Yes, sir.
that you definitely got that job. Coach, tell us, before we dive into it, a little bit about your background, man, and how you got to this point of becoming the head coach of Waco High.
Yes, sir. So I grew up in Waco. I was always surrounded by, educators, so I knew that was something that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I, was heavily involved always in, like, youth, in church. I was involved in youth sports here in
Yeah.
the Waco area, so just surrounded by a lot of, high-quality people that helped me get to where I am today. So from
Definitely.
there, from youth sports, I went to Rappaport, graduated from Rappaport. I went to Texas Wesleyan, graduated from Texas Wesleyan, and made my way back to Waco, Texas, and started working for Waco ISD in 2017, and
Okay.
here we are today. So
Yeah, so that's got to be great, man, to be able to, for one, growing up in this area, growing up in Waco, you know what it means to be a Waco High Lion, and now being in that program since 2017, almost a decade of putting in time, man, and then finally being able to get that call and being able to get elevated to that job of being the head coach. Talk a little bit about what it's been like being in that Waco High program. First off, WISD is, obviously like the staple of Waco and their school districts. Probably the most historic school that we have in Waco is Waco High. Getting a chance to work there, working with those kids, working with the different coaches, and being able to learn. What was that like over the last few years?
yeah, so I mean, you said it. Like, anywhere you go, people know what Waco High is about.
Yeah.
So they know who Waco is. So So to be in this position today, I understand how much weight that holds, and I don't take that for granted. I'm excited to uh, carry that responsibility, and uh, I know that there are a lot of people in Waco ISD still to this day. A lot of them that I have worked with that I still talk to today that you know I could go to if I need anything, and I'm just excited.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. And like you said, being able to pick up and soak up so much information, so much game just over the years from the different coaches, from the different people, the different staff members at Waco High. I'm sure that's been huge for you. Talk a little bit about your vision. When you think about, okay, the news is kind of setting in now, you're going to be the head coach of Waco High. You get to run things your way. What is your vision of what you want to do with this program at Waco High?
Yeah, you hear the stories about what Waco High was back in the day, even before I got to Waco growing up.
Yeah.
And it's just excellence. Excellence is the best way to describe it. And they were just good at everything, at every sport: football, basketball,
Yeah.
baseball. They competed. So my vision is to bring us back to a place where we're competing in everything that we do. And I feel like we have a good foundation, but I want to build on that. I want to get to the elementary schools, to the junior highs, and just continue to spread Lion pride.
Yeah, because I mean that's really the biggest part of it, because most people think, oh, well, it starts with the kids in high school, but yeah, high school coach, man, you got to start from the bottom. You got to start from the elementary school kids. You got to start to the middle school kids, all the way up to the point where it gets to the high school kids, in order to truly be able to develop that talent and to be able to just nurture these kids, man. Talk a little bit about your relationship with the kids over the last, because like you said, you've been in this program now since 2017. So you've seen a lot of these kids grow up. Some of the guys you're going to be coaching, you've seen since these were youngsters, man, since they were playing in Little League games, and now you're getting a chance to coach them. I know that's got to feel special for some of those kids that's been able to watch you and been able to have that relationship with you. But talk about how your relationship with some of these kids.
Yeah, so I think it goes back to when I was in high school. Over the summers, I would work at South Waco Community Center, and I would always, help over the summer when I came back from school. So I was always involved with the youth. So a lot of those kids I've watched go through Waco ISD and graduate, and then coming and starting to work in 2017. I have a kid on the team right now that I've known since he was 11 years old.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's huge, man. Being able to build those relationships with those kids, and because that's a huge part of being a coach. It's not just the X's and O's, and not just how you guys practice, but having that relationship with those different kids. Like you said, you grew up in this Waco area. You grew up in this Waco community. How do you plan on, from being a head coach at Waco ISD or Waco High School, how do you plan on moving forward and impacting the community? It's a huge community. Waco High has, I always say, feels like they got the most alumni in the entire city. You can't go anywhere without somebody repping Waco High, without somebody having some type of Lion pride. Talk about some of the ways that you want to be able to impact this community.
So, number one, it's just, my dad was Waco High alum, Melvin Carter, Waco High alum. So I know he won't let me forget the history of, Waco High, and how three schools came together to make one. And my pastor, Waco High alum. So there's just so many people around in the community that are a part of my life already. So of course I'm gonna start there, reach out to them, and just build from there. I want to include, not just Waco High, but Jefferson Moore, Richfield. I want to include them in things that we do, such as alumni games, alumni weekends. Just reach out and get our kids involved, and you can learn something from everybody. So have them just come around and surround our kids with them.
Yeah, no, and that's huge. That's a huge thing. Building a community, building within this community, this Waco community, and that's why I love doing what we have a chance here to do on not only Centex Primetime, but just Centex Sports Network. this is a community that's got a lot of talent, that's got a lot of rich history within this community. So being able to spread that throughout this community, man, I think is going to be special. This kind of a cliche question, and everybody always asks it, but what do you think when you look now, you're just now starting in this job, you want to be able to look back and think the impact or the legacy that you'll be able to leave at Waco High? What do you think of whenever you think about your legacy that you want to be able to leave behind at Waco High?
The sky's the limit, so I definitely don't want to limit myself.
For sure.
There are some. I don't really know how to answer that question. I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I just take it day by day, and try to do my best. But I do know that Waco ISD is a place that I've called home for, 8 years, and I couldn't see myself anywhere else.
Man, it's great to be able to have you over here, not only on the show, but just at Waco ISD, man, and at Waco High, because like you said, so much history within that program. You getting a chance to now make your mark on it and make your imprint within that program. We're in here with Coach Pat Listash, the new head coach of Waco High basketball, here joining us on Centex Primetime. Coach, we talked a little bit about your getting this job at Waco High. Want to be able to talk a little bit of hoops with you, man. I know you're a hoops fan, and you definitely get a chance to watch. Before we jump into a little NBA, like I said earlier, NBA is getting about to go into the playoffs this weekend, and they got some of the play-in games, stuff like that. Did you get a chance to watch some of the college games that just ended? March Madness just got done. Florida obviously crowned as the national champ. I picked Florida to win in that game, but I was rooting for Houston, so they kind of, messed me up a little bit when they didn't even get a shot off at the end. But what were some of the games you got to check out during this March Madness, and what do you think about Florida being able to take it home and win it all?
Yeah, so I was going for Houston as well, but I did pick Duke in some of my brackets. So,
okay.
I filled out about 25 brackets. One of them was doing really well.
Yeah.
And, a lot of them did not. So
man,
I definitely did not pick Florida to win in any of them, but in the Final Four, when I got to watch those games, I'm not surprised at all, man.
Yeah, that Florida team was special, man. I picked them to win, but you know how that is with the brackets, man. You kind of just pick somebody and hope that they can get past the upset rounds, make it past the Sweet 16 and stuff like that. And my bracket did okay, but yeah, Houston hurt me a little bit there at the end of that game, not being able to get a shot off. Coach, there's been a lot of talk around, different things in college basketball, the NIL deals, and guys being able to leave, and the transfer portal being open. What are some of your thoughts on just this new state of college basketball? Because it's not exactly the way that it is when we grew up watching college basketball. This new state of college basketball, because I think it's pros and cons to both sides. Obviously, kids transferring and they're not having to stay at a school for 4 years, can hurt or help certain programs. But at the end of the day, these kids now are being able to get paid, and it's not somebody just making millions of dollars behind the curtain, and the kids got to go out here and fight for meals. But now kids are being able to get paid and different things like that. What are some of your thoughts on just this new state, I guess, of not just college basketball, but college athletics, period?
Right. And I wish NIL was a thing when I was in school.
Man.
But like you said, there's pros and cons to it.
Yeah.
But my mind goes to right to high school. So just trying to get our guys that are 9th through 12th grade to understand, like, hey, man, you got some big decisions that you know what I mean? You take this serious, you could go make some money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And change your life. So trying to get them to understand the importance of the everyday grind and doing everything the right way, not just on the basketball court, but, in the classroom as well. So
Yeah, that's a huge part of it, because everybody wants the glamour and all the fame and all this that comes with being a star athlete. But, man, you got to get into the books first to be able to make it there, to be able to get to that college that you want to be able to get to. And like you said, it affects the high school ranks as well, because before, everybody had this dream of, hey, man, you take this serious one day, make it to the league and make you a couple of bucks. But now if you take this serious just in high school, and you can go right to the next level, and at 18, make some real deal money and be able to make some life-changing money that we're seeing. I mean, we're seeing $3-4 million getting handed out to some of these kids now at 18 years old. Now, I don't know exactly how you would have handled it at 18, getting $2 or $3 million. I don't know if that would have been the exact right choice for myself, being able to have that much money at 18 years old. But it is definitely a great opportunity for these kids to be able to go out here and earn some money, man. And I really enjoyed watching this last season in college basketball. Like I said, Coach, the playoffs are about to start, man, in the NBA. First off, I got to ask you, who's your team that you're rocking with in the NBA? Just, they might be in the playoffs, they might not be in the playoffs. Who's your team that you're rocking with in the NBA?
My team is the Memphis Grizzlies. So
Okay.
If you know me,
Okay.
I've been a Grizzlies fan since Zach Randolph and Mike Conley.
Grit and grind.
Yeah.
Grizzlies. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm rocking with the Lakers this year.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Lakers, man. Them obviously getting Luka obviously changes a lot of things, and I'm a Bron fan. I'm a Rockets fan, first and foremost, always. So, yeah, we almost matched up in the playoffs a second ago, but yeah, I'm always gonna be rooting for Bron because I'm a Bron fan, and seeing them go out here in this matchup. What you think about that matchup coming up, playing against Ant-Man and the Timberwolves now, since all these seeds are locked in now? Well, at least majority of the seeds are locked in, and who's gonna be playing. What you think about the Lakers matchup with the Timberwolves?
Yeah. So like you, I'm a LeBron fan.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Lakers in 4.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think. So.
No, hey, I'm with it. I think it's gonna be a fun matchup with those two guys playing. MVP race. It's kind of close. There's been a lot of back and forth on who should do what and who should be able to pull this MVP out. I thought Shea should have won it last year. With the record they had, the numbers he's putting up, obviously is Jokic able to get that one out. But then this year, I feel like Shea should be able to win it. But Jokic is having a season that we've never seen anybody have, especially from the center position. What's your thoughts on this MVP race, man? Because I feel like it's splitting hairs at this point.
I mean, LeBron is 40 years old.
Yeah.
So if I had a vote, that's who would get mine.
Yeah. No, seriously though, because being able to do what he's still doing at 40, and I'm really hoping that the injury he got in that last, what was that, a couple games ago, was just something a little tic-tac injury and not something serious, because I think they got a chance to be able to do something special this coming up year. But I think SGA will be able to take this one home, man. I mean, you almost win 70 games in the season, and while you averaging 30, I think they got to be able to give it to him, man. And a lot of people have been talking like, who's going to be that next American basketball player that we can get that's going to bring us the MVP? Because the last few years it's been Jokic and Giannis and Shea and Joel Embiid and all of these guys. Who's that next American star? I mean, I guess everybody kind of points towards Anthony Edwards and different guys like that, but I feel like there's a couple sleepers in there that might be able to get it. Who you think that next American dude is that'll be able to bring that home for the MVP this year?
I think Anthony Edwards, for sure. When I watch him, and he has a little bit of everybody's game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think he would be the next person, if anybody, to get that. Or Jason Tatum, him or Jason Tatum for sure.
Yeah, Tatum, man, it's kind of almost a slept-on superstar, I guess, if you could say that. They just won a chip, and feel like we don't talk about him at all. We talk about the Luka and the AD trade. We talk about Stephen A. and LeBron beefing with each other. Like we talk about, all the random stuff. But Jason Tatum, kind of that quiet superstar, almost like a Tim Duncan type of guy, just keeps his head down, goes to work, wins, been winning since he stepped into the league. So I really do like that Tatum pick. Last question on the NBA, Coach. Who's taking it all this year, man? I know you say you're going for the Lakers this year. Is it the Lakers that's going to bring it home? You got the Celtics that's still the defending champs. Both the Cavs and OKC both won almost 70 games this year. Who's taking it all home this year?
If not the Lakers, then the Celtics.
Okay. Okay, Celtics. Yeah, I like the C's too, man. I'm not a Boston fan. I said it on the show multiple times. I don't think I root for any Boston team, actually. I don't think I like the Red Sox, the Patriots, none of them. But with that being said, man, you can't deny what they've been able to do there in Boston for the last few years, and especially last year. You got, like you said, Tatum and Brown. I thought Tatum should have got the Finals MVP last year, but I wasn't mad that Jalen Brown was able to go out there and get it. But with the amount of depth that they got on their roster, you got champs like Drew Holiday, and you got Derek White on there and different guys like that. Just a really, really well built out team for the Celtics. So I'm not mad at that at all, seeing the Celtics win. I'm like you. I hope it can be LeBron and Luka and those guys. If not my Rockets, we're a little young right now, so I'm not gonna try to big up them too much because we're a little young. Looks like we're gonna get the Warriors in the first round. I don't know about that one. What do you think about a couple of these other first round matchups that are going on in the NBA right now? You talked about the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Rockets are gonna get the Warriors after they just closed out your Grizzlies last night. So,
Yeah,
I'm sorry to bring that one up, but they
yeah.
closed out the Grizzlies last night. What do you think about that? That's first round series with the Rockets and the Grizzlies. The Rockets and the Warriors. I mean,
I'm a root for the Rockets now because the
yeah,
Warriors did the Grizzlies dirty.
yeah,
So going for the Rockets.
yeah,
I hope they get a couple rounds, honestly, just because I like the brand of basketball that they play up and down. A lot of those young guys deserve it after all those tough seasons. So
yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that, and I like the way that Coach Udoka has been able to kind of put his imprint in on a team and what they've been able to do. In the 4 and 5 matchup, I think one of the more interesting ones, the Nuggets and the Clippers. Clippers kind of one of those teams that flew under the radar this year. Kawhi Leonard's back healthy. James Harden has kind of got a little of his swag back and how he's been playing and stuff like that. And what do you think about that Nuggets, them matching up with the Nuggets in that 4 and 5 matchup?
uh, I mean they're playing the MVP, so I got to go with the Nuggets on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that at all. I mean, it's Jokic. Everybody looks at Harden and Kawhi and Powell, and I really do like the team that the Clippers built out. But man, what Jokic has been able to do, this year has actually been kind of crazy to see a triple double from the center position. Something I definitely didn't think I was going to be able to see, and for him to do it, what seems like so effortlessly, be able to do it every single year, man. It's kind of crazy being to watch on the East Side. You said you like Boston coming out of that one, and they'll get the Orlando Magic. I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the show. They get the Orlando Magic in their first round matchup. I think we both got Boston winning in that one as well. The Pacers and Bucks is kind of an interesting one because we don't know what Dame is going to do with his health like that. How do you see that one turning out if Dame's not able to go and play in that series?
Uh, the Pacers are good, man. So they could surprise some people. But if Giannis is Giannis, I think the Bucks will pull that one off.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, man. I like the Pacers and their like you said, they're a team that gets up and down the floor. They definitely can score the ball. They don't even think about defense. I don't know what goes on the defensive side, but they're putting up 130, 140 on people like that. But man, Giannis is a game changer. What he can do on both sides of the floor. I wish Dame was fully healthy because the Bucks were kind of my sleeper team to be able to kind of do something coming out of the East this year because of Giannis. But without Dame being there, I think it's going to be tough. I think they'll have enough to get out of that first round. I like Indiana as well, but I think Milwaukee's got enough to be able to get out the first round with just Giannis. When the second round, man, you got to play Cleveland or Boston or one of those teams. It's going to get a little spooky for Giannis, especially if you don't have him out there. The last one is the Knicks and the Pistons, I believe. Pistons kind of one of those slept-on teams, one of my slept-on teams for this year. I really like Cade Cunningham's game. And what do you think about that matchup in the 3-6 matchup with the Knicks and the Pistons?
I'm an underdog guy, so whoever the underdog is, I hope they pull it off. So hopefully the Pistons get that one.
Yeah, man, I'm rooting for them too. Coach, before we get off here, we got another guest joining in here with us, a guy that you're kind of familiar with, and a guy that's definitely familiar to this show as well, Mr. Rocky Miller, joining in on a call with us. Rock, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys, man? It's good to be here. Can y'all hear me just fine?
Looks like we're working on pulling your audio in. Jamal's going something. Yeah, go ahead. I think he's got you in now.
You got me in now? Am I
Yes, sir.
coming
We
in
can hear
now?
you.
I got you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Pat, first off, I want to congratulate Pat, man, on becoming the head basketball coach at my alma mater. Uh, I know you very, 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 very well. And so you know, I know you're prepared for this. I know you're gonna do an amazing job in my alma mater, and you're gonna restore the roar at the Waco High Gym. And I got a couple questions for him if you don't mind me asking a couple questions. When is that new gym gonna be open, Pat?
Man, so I don't really have a date for anybody. I know that the gym that we're currently in, that one's gonna go down this summer, and hopefully at some point over the summer we can get into that new one. But I don't have a date.
All right. And just I know you and Jalen revealed that you're a basketball junkie right there in front of everybody. You love basketball, and it's one of your passions, of course. it's not surprising because you're a basketball coach. Um, but with that being said, have you really thought about what kind of offense or defense or what is going to be the personality of your team as you are putting it together?
Yes, sir. Every day, but I don't know who's listening, so I'm not about to give out any secrets.
Oh man.
No, but
Okay, we don't have to talk about
we
it. Talk about that at
yeah,
another time.
probably I
We just
got
say
you.
that.
I got you.
Yeah.
But
What they call it, G16
we have some
classified.
weapons
That's what
though.
that is.
Yeah, we have some weapons. I'll say that. I know we got some guys that can go. So I'm excited to you know, man, I'm excited. That's all. I'm excited. I almost said too much.
Well, you're like I can tell, man. You're very excited. Hey, and I tell you this, man. Uh, for anybody out there that don't know, this is full disclosure. Pat is my son-in-law. He's the grandson. He's the father of my. I have 4 grandkids total, and he's the father of 3 of them. And so, 2 girls. I mean, 2 boys and a girl. And he actually finds time to coach those guys as well from time to time. And so, man, he's just. I just wonder if those people that don't know Pat, he's a tremendous guy. He's somebody that we're actually really lucky as a Waco High family and alumni group to have him as our head coach. He's a great representation, not only as a coach, but as a man. He's a great guy, and I just look forward to him and the his Waco High program doing great things, and so and Riel paid me to say all this, so. I just want you to know that. No, that's my daughter. No, but hey, full disclosure, I put the flyer out, and she did everything in her power for me to take down the moniker that I put on the flyer, the chosen one. She was like, "Dad, he's not gonna like that because you're so modest and understated." But you're not saying you're the chosen one. I'm saying a representative of the Waco High alumni. I'm saying you're the chosen one. You're the man. You're the right man for the job. And I'd like to thank Coach Martinez and Coach Love and whoever was involved in selecting you as a head coach. They did a tremendous job in choosing a head basketball coach. And I just want to say, man, I'm so proud of you. And I'm sure Lisa and Melvin are proud of you as well. And of course, Riel is.
Yeah. I want to piggyback off of that. I'm surrounded by so many great people. Like I couldn't be here without y'all. So whoever's listening, I know you guys are tuned in. I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. Thank y'all. So
Love you too, man.
Hey, I don't know if he was talking about you, Rocky. He might have been talking about some other people. I don't know. If he was
No, hey, I'm sure he's talking about me. No, man. Hey, ever since he laid those Skittles out back so many years ago, he'll have to tell you about the Skittles off camera. But uh, yeah. Yeah,
No, definitely.
like I say, man,
Go ahead.
I've been knowing the young man a long time, and he's always been a great man, great young man, and I am extremely proud that he's part of my family, and now he's the head coach of my alma mater. So before I get out here, I just wanted to say that, man. I just wanted to say thank you, Pat. If I could have got Riel to come on and be here and congratulate you, I would, but I know she wasn't gonna come on and do nothing, so I thought I'd do it on behalf of the entire family.
thank you.
Rock,
No
we
problem.
appreciate you, man, jumping on here and talking with us for a little bit.
No doubt about it.
No problem, no problem. So Rocky called in. You knew he was going to have a little something to say. Coach, want to thank you for taking time out your schedule, man. Like you said, I know your phone is blowing up and everybody's going to be congratulating you for a little while, man. But definitely want to appreciate you for jumping on the show, man. And we definitely wish you good luck in your endeavors here at Waco High, man, becoming that new coach.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank
No
y'all
problem.
for having me.
No problem, no problem. This is Coach Pat, who is the new head coach of Waco High basketball. Folks, we got to take a break. When we come back to close the show out, we got to break down these NBA playoffs that are coming up here soon and we got to talk a little bit about some quick takes, some storylines going on in the sports world. So stay tuned, stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. The feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
My name is Tashay Sayes. I'm a music major at MCC, and I'm so happy to be here. It's crazy how I got here.
My name is Emily Adams. I'm the marketing director for the Texas Asphalt Pavement Association. We are here at our 3rd annual MAPS conference at the Waco Convention Center in beautiful Waco, Texas. I think the event has exceeded all of our expectations. We had an amazing turnout and great sessions and nothing but positive feedback. So this is our first conference in a convention center, and I'm used to working with hotels where there's like one person to talk to for everything. And so at the last minute, we realized we needed audio and video services. And so I contacted Lighthouse Streaming and Audio, and they were very quick to respond. They were able to, even though it was the last minute, they were able to fit us into their schedule, and they provided us with technicians and equipment to record our sessions, and we'll be able to provide the people who are speaking at those sessions with great video of themselves. I would highly recommend them. I highly recommend Lighthouse Streaming and Audio. I had nothing but a pleasant experience, and if we come back to Waco again, which we hope to do, I know I'll be in touch with them.
My name is Debbie Kimbrell. I am the administrative assistant here at Anderson Chapel. I also work as part of the media ministry. It was great working with Lighthouse. Everyone was very professional, came in to do video recording and streaming for a conference that we hosted here on time. They did what they needed to do, was seamless and transparent. It was great. The feedback, everyone was impressed. So it went out, it was a conference level, so a state level event, and everyone was impressed with the product and the result. We got the DVDs too, which people purchased, and they were impressed with those. It was great overall.
Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, CEO of Lighthouse Streaming, and you're watching Centex Sports Network. Hello, my name is Roy Gillis, founder and CEO of Lighthouse Streaming. Over the last 4 years, we've had some tremendous successes, none of which could have been accomplished without you, our clients, and our viewers. From my family and the staff of Lighthouse Streaming, thank you.
My name is Tashay Sayes.
Hello and welcome back into Centex Prime Time. I am your host, Jalen Gillis here, getting ready to wrap the show up here today, folks. Just got done talking with the new head coach of Waco High basketball, Coach Pat Listash. Just got a chance to join in with us. Got to talk a little bit about his vision and his plans for the community and this new Waco High basketball program that he's going to be taking over. Folks, want to jump into some quick takes while we've got a little bit of time here left today on the show. Talk about some topics going around in the sports world as we move forward here. The playoffs starting this weekend, but we've kind of already got playoff basketball going on right now as we just had the play-in games. We'll start with some of those. Last night, the Warriors were able to get a win over the Memphis Grizzlies in the first play-in game. They win the 7th seed. They'll be moving on to take on my Houston Rockets in the playoffs as they'll start up this weekend. Also, the Orlando Magic were able to take out the Atlanta Hawks last night. We'll start talking a little bit about that Grizzlies game, man. The Memphis Grizzlies versus the Golden State Warriors, and what turned out to be a classic game, a game that came all the way down to the last seconds of the game in a great finish. Playoff Jimmy is back. Playoff Jimmy Butler is back. I was kind of wondering, had some hesitations on, man, is Jimmy Butler going to do this again, or this playoff Jimmy stuff over the last couple of years just a little bit too worn out? Obviously, the answer is no, he is not a little bit too worn out. Playoff Jimmy is a real thing, as he put up 38 points in a win last night for the Golden State Warriors to go along with 7 boards and 6 assists and 3 steals. Not only doing that, but shooting efficiently. 12 for 20 from the field, 12 for 18 from the free throw line, and I think that's the biggest stat, is that 12 for 18 from the free throw line for Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler brings another dimension to this team that they haven't had before. It brings them some inside scoring. It brings them a defender, but it brings them somebody that can get to the free throw line. They haven't been able to get to the free throw line consistently in years, honestly. When you think about the teams they had with Kevin Durant, KD was able to get to that line when they needed. Steph is not much of a guy that, gets to the line and attacks the paint like that to be able to get to the line. Of course, he's a phenomenal free throw shooter, but that dimension is going to open up the floor for Golden State like we saw last night. Him driving to the cup, him getting fouled, him slowing the game down when the game needed to be slowed down. Jimmy Butler is going to be huge for Golden State as they go into the playoffs. Now, like I told y'all, they playing against my Rockets. I'm a Rockets fan, obviously, for those of you who watch the show all the time. Know we got a few new watchers on here watching with us today. Maybe some leftover from some of Coach Pat's people that's watching with us. But I'm a Rockets fan. Obviously, I want the Rockets to win in this series. I wanted the Rockets to be able to play against the Memphis Grizzlies. That was my wish, that we could get the Grizzlies, another young team, a team that we can go pace for pace with. The Warriors, they're experienced. They've got, obviously, Stephen Curry, top 10 player for most people of all time. They got Jimmy Butler, who's showing us that playoff Jimmy is back and ready to go. And then they got Draymond Green, kind of the guy that's orchestrating and pulling all the strings behind the scene like he was able to do last night. Warriors win this game and get that 7th seed. This game was, I believe, 82-80, a close game. Ja Morant goes down with an ankle injury, and from there, Golden State kind of got the advantage. I don't want to say took off because the game remained close all the way to the end, but they gained the advantage when Ja went down with that ankle injury, and Ja was able to come back and play in those last few minutes, but the ankle injury really kind of derailed him because he was on his way to having what was going to be a really brilliant game as well. Desmond Bane stepped up and played big in this game. He had 30 points, knocked down 5 threes. That's what we expect from Desmond Bane. They'll now be awaiting the winner of tonight's game in the Mavericks versus the Kings as well. So they'll play whoever that winner is, and whoever wins that will get that 8th seed, and they'll get the chance to get smacked by Oklahoma City, because I think whoever comes out of that one is going to probably get smacked by OKC, man. Shea is obviously playing at an MVP level, should definitely be the MVP this year. So I don't see either one of them coming out of that. And that 2-7 matchup with the Rockets, people always say, you got to pick with your head, not your heart. Not me. I'm taking the Rockets. I don't care what y'all say. I'm taking the Rockets, not only because I'm a fan, but because I think they actually have a chance to win this series. Yes, Stephen Curry is Steph Curry. We know who he is. We know who Jimmy Butler is. But they have to keep up with the pace of the Houston Rockets. The Rockets can get up and down the floor. I said it all year. Probably the most athletic team in the league, mainly because we got 2 of the best, if not the 2 best athletes in the league. Amen Thompson's for sure in there as far as best athlete in the league. But Jalen Green is no slouch as an athlete either. We got Dylan Brooks that's going to bring that grit to this team. We got Fred VanVleet. Tari Eason is a great addition as well. I don't got to go down the whole roster, but the Rockets got a squad, man. It's not going to be any type of pushover. Can Golden State win this series? Absolutely. Like I said, the pedigree speaks for themselves. Their resumes speak for themselves. But they've got to be able to keep up with the pace that the Rockets are going to be putting up. They're going to get up and down the floor. I like Şengün in the matchup against Draymond. If they're going to stick Draymond on Şengün, barbecue chicken. That's how I think of it. Then we bring in Steven Adams off the bench. Steven Adams can do similar things to what Zach Edey did last night. That's why the game was so close. They were killing the Warriors on the boards. 17 rebounds for Zach Edey last night. The Grizzlies were killing them on the boards, but obviously weren't able to get over that hump. So I think that's going to be a really fun matchup in that 2-7 matchup. Golden State moves on as they beat the Memphis Grizzlies. The other game, the first game in that matchup, was the Orlando Magic taking on the Atlanta Hawks. Orlando was able to come out with the victory in that one. Trae Young was ejected after he got his second technical, and the Magic were in control of that game pretty much from start to finish. Atlanta's just not there yet. They've got the number one pick in Zachary Reese-Shea. He's just not ready yet to be able to take that next step this year. Can he do that moving forward? Probably. I like this. I mean, I kind of like the Hawks. Trae Young, like I said yesterday, probably the most disrespected superstar in the game. Dude's a walking double-double for the last 5-6 years. Took a team to the Eastern Conference Finals a few years ago. You couple that in with Dyson Daniels, who's really elevated this game. He's got to be able to get a jumper consistently knocked down to take it to the next level. But he's one of the best defenders in the game. He can also affect the game in other ways. He had 7 assists and 12 rebounds yesterday in that game. They're a young team. They're building. But I think the Hawks will be able to do something. The Magic is kind of bittersweet with them going and getting that 7th seed because they'll be able to, taking on the defending champs in the Boston Celtics. But they're not at full strength as Jalen Suggs is out for the season. Sustained that injury probably a couple of months ago. He's out for the season, so the Magic won't be at full strength. But I love Paolo Banchero, man. I think he's one of the best young players in the league, especially if you're talking about guys under 25. There's probably not many other people I'm taking before I take Paolo. And then Franz Wagner, another baller as well. They'll give the Celtics a good run, but I see the Celtics winning this one in probably 5 games, man. Not enough 5. They can't score enough points. Orlando's problem is they can't score enough. Last night they put up 120 on the Hawks, but a lot of that was because Cole Anthony had a great game, had 26 points in that game. If they can't do that consistently, which I don't think the Orlando Magic can do, man, it's probably over in 5, man. It's the Celtics we're talking about. The Magic, not enough firepower to be able to take out the Boston Celtics, but they will get the opportunity as they got their dub last night against the Atlanta Hawks. Looking at some of these games for tonight, like I told y'all yesterday, man, yesterday were some of the good games. Today is kind of like it's almost like we're getting the B team of the games. First game, Miami versus Chicago. Tyler Hero, obviously, for Miami. Bam Adebayo for Miami. I like Miami winning this one. Even though they're the underdog in this game, Chicago's a 1.5-point favorite. I like Miami in this game, man. Chicago, they just don't have enough. I didn't know Chicago was even in the play-in. I guess that's just kind of how bad the East has been. The East is pretty weak this year. I didn't even know Chicago was in the play-in. Josh Giddey has been playing phenomenal for them. He hit that half-court buzzer-beater shot on the Lakers just a couple of weeks ago. He's been playing great. They've got some other good young pieces. Kobe White has really come along this season, probably a candidate for most improved as well with Kobe White. But he's been playing phenomenal this season. So they've got some young guys, but another team that's just a few years away, I guess. I mean, if you see Josh Giddey as a piece, they need a star. They don't have a star. That's the problem with the Bulls. They haven't had a star since Jimmy Butler and Derrick Rose. They need a star in Chicago. They don't have that right now, but they've got some really nice young pieces in Josh Giddey. Shout out to Kyrell, who's usually on this show with us. He said a couple of years ago that Josh Green was better than Josh Giddey. So I'll let y'all go ahead and roast him for that. Y'all can get on his head for that because that was just a Mavericks fan and them talking. It wasn't nothing too much about it, but I'll have to remind him about that and how he said that. Josh Giddey's been balling over the last few months of this season, really finding his way with Chicago. But I like Miami in this one, and it's the 9th and 10th place teams. It's not a lot to talk about with these two games and with these two teams playing each other because both of these teams are under 500. Like we want to talk about Miami, but they're 37 and 40 and 45. Come on, man. Like, this is not considered playoff basketball. The second game is the Mavericks, who obviously made the worst trade in NBA history, which I'm not mad about. Well, I mean, not too bad, but it helps out LeBron. If LeBron gets another ring, I won't be mad about it. If he doesn't, I'm just gonna laugh at the Mavs for making probably the dumbest move I've seen in sports in some years and trading away Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis. The entire team blows up. Kyrie tears his ACL. Anthony Davis gets hurt The first game he plays, he gets hurt. A lot of the other guys have been in and out of the lineup. P.J. Washington, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, all those guys from the championship run team last year. But somehow they still made the playoffs or the play-in game. They'll be taking on the Sacramento Kings, who are kind of just like the Bulls Jr. They got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine again. I'm sure they both left the Bulls thinking, well, man, at least I don't have to keep playing with this guy and I can get on a team that fits me better. And now they're both on the Kings. I don't know how that works. This is literally the same team. They're just replacing Vucevic with Domantas Sabonis. But I like the Kings in this game over the Mavs, obviously. The Mavs don't even have their second-best player. Anthony Davis, I believe, will be playing tonight. Hopefully he doesn't get an elbow injury or something random. You know, Anthony Davis gets some of the most random injuries. You'll look up and he got like a toe injury or something. Like, how do you even sustain some of these injuries? But I like the Kings in this game tonight. The 5.5 points favorite, man. I say take the 5.5. Sabonis, from his time with the Kings, has religiously destroyed Anthony Davis. I don't know how. It's always that one player. I'm not saying it like Sabonis is better than AD or nothing, but it's always that one player that just has somebody else's number. That's Sabonis for Anthony Davis. He always goes off when he plays AD. And then there's going to be nobody else on the Mavericks like that to be able to keep up some of that scoring power that they've got, obviously, with Kyrie gone. Spencer Dinwiddie will probably play a pretty decent game, but if I'd have to pick, and this isn't a game that I would regularly pick, but that's just what's on TV tonight, folks, as y'all can see. Mavericks versus the Kings. I like the Kings in this one. Zach LaVine, DeMar, and Sabonis, they got to find a way to be able to get it done in that game. Those are the play-in games that are coming on tonight. Miami starts it all off on ESPN at 6:30. They're taking on the Bulls. Then the Kings will close it out against the Mavericks at 9 o'clock. Want to go into some of these quick takes, just talk about some of the news in the sports world before we jump out of here today, folks. The Pistons, the Detroit Pistons, who we just talked about on here with Coach Pat a second ago, they're playing against the New York Knicks in the playoffs. Pistons, real feel-good story from this season. Obviously, everybody remembers last year when they broke the losing streak, I believe, lost like 27 games in a row, which is absolutely wild when you think about professional athletes playing and somehow they found a way to lose that many games in a row. But they've made a huge turnaround. Shout out Coach J.B. Bickerstaff. Should be a coach for candidate of the year after they kicked him out of Cleveland and what he's been able to do in Detroit, turning that around. But they have said, their ownership has come out and said that they're going to restrict ticket sales outside of the state of Michigan. Now, they know that New York fans are crazy and how New York fans will do. They'll travel anywhere as soon as they have an opportunity to play, especially in the playoffs. Their team has come out and said, we are going to restrict people from buying tickets from outside of New York. And that's obvious. The Knicks have way more fans than the Pistons have fans. Pistons want their arena to be rocking and loud. The Little Caesars Arena, kind of a crazy name, but the Little Caesars Arena will be packed for Detroit as they're taking on the Detroit Pistons. But it won't be packed with New York Knicks fans, as their team owner has now come out and said they're going to restrict ticket sales for any outside guys outside of Michigan. Now, obviously, they know there's still going to be some Knicks fans in there. They're going to call somebody or put down some type of address for them to be able to play, for them to be able to get into that game when the Knicks play the Pistons in Game 3 and 4 in Detroit. Another quick take. Will Howard, this one was kind of funny. Will Howard, the quarterback for Ohio State Buckeyes, just won a national championship. He says, when asked about how teams should, or on his message for teams ahead of the draft, Will Howard says, draft me or you will regret it. Talking to all 32 teams. Will, not sure if your name is William or not. We're just going to call you William here. William, which team are you referring to that they're going to regret not drafting you? Like, we didn't just watch you in the combine throwing the football into the stands against no air resistance, perfect weather in the dome, no defenders, and you missing on wide open passes. Who are we referring to that's going to regret picking you, Will? That's what I'm trying to figure out. After the combine performance that you had, you think you just, I don't know, take the humble approach, and if somebody picks you, they pick you. But come on, let's be for real, Will Howard. No one's got you high like that on their draft boards, bro. If you get drafted, you get drafted, but the draft me or you'll regret it, it's kind of like, bro, who's going to regret it? Like, you were, I understand you're coming off a national championship, and you played great in that national championship game, matter of fact, really throughout the whole playoffs. You playing on the most stacked team in college. That's why guys were wide open. It's because they're all really good. That's why you were able to score touchdowns with ease, because everyone out there is really good. You got baby Julio on your team with Jeremiah Smith. And Booker's going to be a top draft pick. Cardinal Tate's a really good receiver. That's why you were having a success, bro. So saying that teams need to draft you or they regret it, I guess my only retort to that is I doubt it. I doubt that they'll regret it. I don't think they're going to regret it at all, matter of fact, if they decide to pick you. J.J. Redick, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, as we just talked about, the Lakers getting ready to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs as they move forward and go into the playoffs. Coach J.J. Redick says, we've been using Bronny and Shake Milton in our practices as scout team, Anthony Edwards. So pretty much all of you guys know they got to use the scouts. They got to get somebody on the team to be the scout team of the other guys. So I guess the guys that are emulating Anthony Edwards on the Lakers are Bronny and Shake Milton. And that's what the Lakers have been practicing with as far as who they're going to get to try to play like Anthony Edwards in practice. And my response to that is pencil in Anthony Edwards for 40 points every night. Because what you mean you got Bronny being the scout team, Anthony Edwards? Obviously, he's not saying Bronny is Anthony Edwards or Shake Milton, but I already said this before. He said that. I thought that was just kind of funny that JJ came out and said that. I already said I don't think the Timberwolves are going to win this. Ant's getting 30 every night, though. The Lakers have don't have two things that you need to stop Anthony Edwards: a good on-ball defender and rim protection. They have zero rim protection. Jackson Hayes is their only big man on the roster, and J.J. Redick can't wait every single game to sub him so they can get in Dorian Finney-Smith. He can't wait. And that's why Jackson Hayes barely plays minutes, because their offense gets so much better when Dorian Finney-Smith gets in, but that's their only rim protector. Anthony Edwards we're going to see dunks. All these highlight dunks we've seen all year from Anthony Edwards, expect to see more of those. I'm hoping that Ant Edwards is not going to be a three-point merchant in this game and consistently just shoot threes over and over and over, even though he did lead the league in three-point makes this year. He beat out Malik Beasley, I believe, by just 1 3. I think hit 323s this year, which is great. He's improved tremendously as a three-point shooter. But Anthony Edwards is penciling him in for 30, man. For y'all that like to get on Prize Picks, Underdog, whatever it is y'all like to get on, take the over on Anthony Edwards. I'm telling you now. J.J. Redick has done a phenomenal job being able to shut out team's number one option in multiple instances throughout this season. We watched him do it against Jokic. We watched him do it even when they played OKC. Shea didn't have that great of a game. They kept him off the foul line. Anthony Edwards is getting 30, man. Who's guarding Ant? Austin Reeves? 30. Luka? 40. If Luka guards him, it's 40. We don't want Bron playing on Anthony Edwards the whole game, man. And then there's no rim protection. Any drive he has to the cup, he's either getting fouled or he's getting a bucket. I don't think that's going to be enough for them to be able to get over the hump and beat the Lakers. But, man, if you're like myself and you're just trying to get in on a couple of picks here and there, I'm taking Anthony Edwards almost the whole playoffs. He's going to have to show me, J.J. Redick's going to have to show me that they have some type of plan to be able to stop Anthony Edwards. Because looking at it as of right now, they got no chance. Now, will they win the series? No, because of the others. I can't pick a team to win against the Lakers, against a team that has Luka Doncic and then the other team has Rudy Gobert. We've seen this movie already last year in the playoffs. If Rudy Gobert's out there on the floor, Lakers have a chance to win. So I got the Lakers in probably 5 or 6. Pat was just over here. Coach Pat was over here on the show a second ago. He said he got the Lakers in 4. He said it's a sweep. He might be getting a little overzealous there, but he ain't wrong, man. They got Rudy Gobert. I don't have to say too much about the Timberwolves. They got Gobert. We know what's going to happen. They're going to switch him out on that pick and roll, and he's going to get lost, just like he did in the playoffs last year when Luka was hitting game winners over him and stuff like that. So I got the Lakers winning that one, but like I said, pencil Anthony Edwards in for a smooth 40 just about every other game. The New York Giants GM, Joe Shane, who everybody figured out who his name was last year when he was on Hard Knocks and came out and said, and pretty much let Saquon Barkley walk for a bag of chips. Left off the team, goes to the Eagles, wins the Super Bowl. We all know how that story goes. That's Joe Shane's legacy as of right now, whether he wants it to be that or not. He said, we would not be afraid to play Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball if they have the opportunity to draft him. Now, this is after Travis Hunter said yesterday, as they were announcing that they're getting their jerseys retired at Colorado, that if he's not able to play both receiver and corner in the league, he's retiring. Now, like I said yesterday, I think Travis is being a little hyperbolic when he's saying that. But Joe Shane coming out and saying this is like kind of just a duh moment. Like, of course you will play him on – you're the Giants. Why not play him on both sides? Put him at quarterback at this point. Like, y'all, the Giants are terrible. Of course you're going to let him play both sides of the ball. That wasn't a shocker, Joe, that you came out and said that we're not going to be afraid to let Travis play both sides. First of all, he's great on both sides. So he should get a chance to play on both sides. Do I think that Travis will be able to do that consistently like he did at Colorado? Absolutely not. NFL is a whole different speed, different game. The guys are much bigger, much faster. I don't think his body will be able to withstand that type of that type of wear and tear that he'll put on his body if he does that. But he should be able to play both sides at some point. Start him at corner, put in certain packages for him at receiver, man. I don't think it's that difficult. But Joe Shane had to let everybody know that he does think he could play on both sides. We just talked about the Mavericks a little bit as we talk about their play-in game against the Sacramento Kings. It's coming on at 9 o'clock tonight. But I want to talk a little bit about their GM. Nico Harrison held a strange press conference, I guess you could say, yesterday, as he had a press conference that allegedly the owners made him do, where he came out and had some things to say about the Mavericks and really just doubled down on what he's been saying. They asked him, I guess, about the Luka and AD trade. He said, I have no regrets about the trade with Luka and AD. Part of doing the best thing for the Mavs is doing what he did. He believes they're going to win by defense first, all this kind of stuff. Okay, Nico, why are you still talking about this, bro? If they ask a question, I would just say no comment at this point because you're making it worse. And you knew you were going to make it worse because you didn't allow cameras to even come into the press conference. This is 2025. How many NBA press conferences had there been with no cameras? 0. He didn't allow press cameras in there and wasn't going to allow tape recorders for people to record what he was saying either. So you just felt like talking. That's not even a press conference. What the president's just supposed to remember what you said and go home and talk about it later? They had to negotiate to be able to bring tape recorders, according to Brian Windhorst, is what he said earlier today on ESPN. They had to negotiate to be able to take tape recorders in there. So you knew you were going to say something dumb. You just didn't want nobody to see that you were going to go on there and say something dumb when you got out there. But, Nico, let's stop talking about this, bro. I have no regrets on what I did. Yes, you do. You know this trade was bad. You should at least regret that you didn't get any first-round picks. You got 1 first-round pick out of this draft. Mikal Bridges got traded for 4 unprotected first-round picks. Rudy Gobert got traded for 4 picks. Look about who we talking about. Rudy Gobert got traded for 4 first-round picks. You mean to tell me with Luka all you can get is 1? The deal should have been for Luka, even if you were going to trade him. It ain't even the fact that you traded him. It's how you traded him and what you traded him for. You traded him for a dude that's older than him, that's 30, that barely plays. Anthony Davis is a great player, but when he's playing. You traded him for that in 1 first-round pick in like 2029. So you traded for Anthony Davis, who barely plays, and a 6th grader. Because that's who you're drafting. You're talking about a 9th grader. You're going to draft somebody that's in 4 or 5 years later is going to come out. That's what you traded away, your franchise player, the best player in your franchise's history. Shout out to Dirk. I get it. He won a championship. But if Luka plays his whole career there, he's going to be the best player in Mavericks history. 5 years and 5 years he was all first team All NBA 5 times. Absolutely ridiculous. So clearly he was going to end up being the best player in franchise history. You traded him, didn't get proper compensation for him, and now you keep getting mad at everybody because every time you show up to a game, all the fans do is chant "Fire Nico." You're mad because people were trying to Google and look up where you lived. Bro, this is what you set up for yourself doing a ridiculous trade like this. So saying that you have no regrets is cap. We know it's cap. You clearly have regrets. But I don't think it really matters that much because you're not going to be the GM of the Mavericks in about 2 years, man. The writing is on the wall. This trade is not going to be a good one. And then think about if Luka ends up going to the finals or something this year with the Lakers. How sick do you have to be if you're Nico? How sick do you have to be if you're Jason Kidd? Because he didn't sign up for any of this. Obviously, he had no input. Nico Harrison made that clear that Jason Kidd had no input. Because if he would have had any input, he would have said, this doesn't make any sense at all. Why would we trade Luka, our best player, one of the best players in the NBA, for Anthony Davis? Doesn't make sense at all. But he says he has no regrets from the trade, and this is just part of what you have to do when you become a GM. I'm going to get my sounds on here so I can say stop the cap when Takeoff came on there and said stop the cap, because that's what we need you to do, Nico. Stop the cap. We know you have some regrets about the trade. Like, I don't know, maybe the entire trade even happening. That's what shows you clearly have some type of regrets on what's going on. Folks, before we get off here today, I want to look at some of these playoff matchups for the NBA playoffs this year, the ones that are least set. Bucks and Pacers. Like I said on here when Coach Pat was joining me, I like the Bucks in this series, even though they're undermanned. The Pacers, phenomenal team. Not phenomenal. They're a good team. Let me not stretch it. Pacers are a good team, but they don't play any they don't even think about defense. They want to win games 135 to 132. That's how they want to win games. They don't even think about defense, and for that's why I'm taking Giannis, because Giannis is too great of a player. Since Dame has gone out, he's almost averaging 10 assists a game. Giannis continues to expand his game each and every year. I like the Bucks in that one. First game is going to be this weekend as they play against the Pacers in Indiana. In that game, I probably like the Pacers for the first game. I think they'll probably take it home in that first game. Knicks and the Pistons. I like New York in this series, man. I really, really like what the Pistons have been able to do this year. Cade Cunningham is going to be an absolute star. He's already a star, but this dude can really, really hoop. From Texas, so you know I'm always rooting for the guys that's from Texas. Cade Cunningham is a problem. I like the Pistons. They're tough. Somebody needs to get Isaiah Stewart some help. He's always trying to fight. This is basketball, bro. Why don't you just make some layups? Like, why you always want to box with somebody? He couldn't wait till they had that little fight against the Timberwolves the other week. He knew this was his time to shine, and he was already on the court. He went to instantly trying to start choke people out. But the Pistons, they're a tough team. They're gritty, all this kind of stuff. The Knicks are going to have just too much firepower for him, man. Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Cat is having a career year in his in his first year in New York. Anthony Davis and Luka getting traded for each other kind of all made us forget about how bad of a trade this Julius Randle and Karl Anthony Towns trade has been so far for the Timberwolves and for the Knicks. It's been great for the Knicks, not so great for the Timberwolves. They fall all the way down to the 6th seed in the West. I like the Knicks in this series. I like the Knicks in game 1, and I like the Knicks for this whole series. Too much firepower for them. The Orlando Magic versus the Boston Celtics. Orlando wins last night against the Atlanta Hawks. They're able to get the 7th seed, win the 7th seed, and their prize is you get to play the champs. Yeah, they might get swept, man. I don't know if it's any Magic fans on here with us. Like I said, I like Paolo a lot. I even like Franz Wagner as a player. But come on, man. This is Boston we talking about. They might get swept. Matter of fact, Boston is a 14.5-point favorite. Vegas thinks there is no chance of Orlando even getting close to winning this first game. First game is going to be on Sunday, I believe, at 2:30. They're going to get blown out. Maybe not in this game, but they're going to get blown out in this series, man. I see this one as a sweep. I seen last night as Orlando was winning, the fans started to chant, "We want Boston." That ain't what y'all want. You didn't see no players start hyping them up and saying, "Yeah, we want Boston." No, you don't. You just getting Boston. That ain't exactly what you wanted, because what you're about to get is a sweep. That's what we're about to see. I don't see the Orlando Magic winning the game in this series, man. Shout out to them, but I don't even see them winning the game. On the Western Conference side, Clippers and the Nuggets. Talked about this a little bit on Monday as well. Man, I really do like this Clippers team. The Nuggets, obviously, Jokic is phenomenal, but with them firing their coach, Mike Malone, they've got too much going on right now. Jokic has been playing great. They got Russell Westbrook, who I always say gets way too much slander on here. He's one of the best players of all time, but we know he's going to make some stupid decisions in the fourth quarter, man. I like the Clippers in this. Ty Lue, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Norman Powell, Big Zoo down low. Jokic's going to have to play defense on the other end. He can't just lollygag and sit around, lollipop, as Coach Tusa would say. We had some Waco ISD people on here just a second ago. Jokic ain't going to be able to sit back there and lollipop. He's going to have to play some defense, man. Big Zoo is nice. He's a walking double-double. and a guy that's capable of getting 15 and 15, 20 and 20, however you want to do it. So Jokic got his work cut out for him on the defensive end. On the other side, Jamal Murray and James Harden, that's why I like the Clippers. They just don't match up well. Who's guarding Kawhi? Michael Porter Jr.? Cooked. Barbecue chicken. Who's guarding James Harden? Whoever it is getting cooked. Whether you put Brown on him or Jamal Murray, Westbrook, regardless. Whoever it is getting cooked. Then they still got Norman Powell out there as well. So I like the Clippers. I think it's just going to be too much for them. Timberwolves and the Lakers, we just talked about them a second ago on here. I like the Lakers in this series. I think Anthony Edwards is going to be phenomenal. He's going to get 30 and 40, but the Lakers are going to take this one home. The Rockets and the Warriors, I'd like the Rockets. Y'all can say what you want. Playoff Jimmy, Steph Curry, all this stuff, man. I still like the Rockets in this one to be able to pull this one out. Yes, I'm being a homer. Yes, I'm a Rockets fan, and I'm not apologizing for it, man. I'm going to take the Rockets in this series. But we've got the NBA playoffs starting this weekend, folks. I can't wait to be able to break down and talk about some of these games here today. Folks, we're out of time here today on Centex Primetime. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. I want to thank Coach Pat for jumping on here and talking with us, talking about his vision and what he sees for the Waco High Lions as he is the newly appointed head coach over at Waco High, man. Shout out to him and thanks for him for coming on this show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us. As always, subscribe to the YouTube Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV over on YouTube. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Also, click the bell so you can get notified every time that we go live here. We had MCC softball on Centex Sports Network right before the show kicked off today. We've got MCC baseball on Friday, so make sure you're tuning in for that. For our baseball fans that watch with us, tune in on Friday. You'll see some MCC baseball as well. Want to thank you guys once again for tuning in with us here today. Signing off is Jalen Gillis. We will see you guys next time here on Centex Primetime. Everybody have a great evening.